let me pull up the thingy thing. Ezzy asking mainly for help with neutral, which is kind of broad, but...
Neutral. Oh. Asking for your opinion. On this one. We're playing the brass team. Okay.
Oh, you chicken blocked. That was your turn. You could have done. Okay, so let's go back to. You could have PBTC jabbed there, forced your turn. Unless you expect Ruby to DP, which he might there, but your DP loses anyway, so that's just not a good option to pick. Period. No matter what.
Hello.
Yeah, and there was. How about oh yeah, you chicken block this. You could have also just jabbed there as well after the chicken block. It's two very important things for.
That wasn't. They just didn't block. That wasn't not kind of.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cross.
Good blocks. And then yeah, didn't push block him out. Got to deal with more.
No burst though.
Kind of surprised we're not bursting there, because getting Beowulf off you is
Hello?
your goal. If you ever block Beo DP and you're not in a position to punish it, aka chicken blocking it, push block him away. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Try to get out of the pressure as soon as you can. It's kind of interesting watching Ezzy play because it's like there's a lot of defense but no offensive options being used. I mean, up forward. I would really like it up forward, y'all. Bam, bam.
Squiggly might just be dead.
Yeah, for 4 meter, yeah.
So, I think that Squiggly came in and then didn't press a single button. And that's not to say you got locked down the entire time, you just didn't threaten with anything. You jumped around a lot and then you got air thrown. And I died because Beowulf.
Hey, it's a Beowulf.
Especially as Parasol, it's kind of scary to be pressing things, but you need to be controlling space for your neutral. And you can only do that by pressing buttons. It's somewhat similar to Squiggly. Squiggly's a little bit different. But they both have pretty nice long-reaching buttons. I might be able to quickly find a replay of me versus Ruby that I could kind of show you the sort of stuff I do. But I play it very similarly to how I play double, whereas if they're grounded, crouching medium punch is always going to be a good option. If they're in the air, you can dash away, you can dash under, jab, 5 HP, 2 HP are all reasonable options. Your air to airs are all... It's... You want him to be afraid to try and take space away, which is what Beo wants to be doing. And the second he can just call brass and run at you, which, I mean, that's why they have brass, is where stuff starts getting really hairy. And that's the only game you sent in versus Ruby. But... do I have one that's, like... easily accessible of me versus... Yeah, I'll do this real quick.
The 17. What's your round, sir? Back up.
So, I block something and push block him away immediately.
What? Immediately for the break. He's getting sent to the corner.
Yeah. And so I'm just trying to control space, make him afraid
really
to do much.
Hey, get him out of here.
And so this replay isn't actually the best at showing it, but... yeah.
Oh, for a grip. Oh, we don't know double. Us.
Oh,
for the whole
okay.
game.
Yeah, no, this replays.
Yeah.
Let that Beowulf's dead.
Yeah, no, he gets he's just going.
Alright, let's try this one.
Ah, the brass team. Imagine it.
And that was a failed push
Oh.
block.
Oh, dash block. Oh no.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah. You always go for the low the.
So I get him off me immediately, take out space.
He just didn't.
Yeah.
Like that.
And so, I mean, part of this, Ruby's afraid to press buttons versus me. Yeah. Solo is rough. And I drop because I hate that link in the corner is mad annoying. But yeah. We'll see if it ever becomes versus Beowulf again, because that's kind of the main thing we want to be talking about. Oh, here we go. Okay. Didn't block it that time because I'm bad.
Nice. That was really good. Oh, almost had it. I could have been a sniper.
Oh yeah, I could have. I actually need to get a lot better about that. But so, I'm reacting a lot to where the Beowulf is. So if they're on the ground, jab, 2 medium kick, shut down a lot of things. It's a lot harder to do that when they're calling brass, which Ruby likes to do a lot. If they're in the air, up forward jump light kick or jump light punch are both good options. You can also try and anti-air it, or as JP said, if you have space, you can also just snipe the blitzer if they're doing that. But yeah, and part of the reason why he waits there is because I will jab all the time. Especially because one thing I hope you saw a little bit more in this replay versus yours as well was, and granted this is just me as a player, I push block him away, like for every single hit, period. I don't want that Beowulf on me. But especially if you're blocking very important things from Beowulf, like his DP, if you're not punishing it, you just want him off of you. You gain nothing by letting him stay close to you. Especially because his lows are honestly pretty stubby, and it's a lot harder for him to get close to you and low. So you can push block him away, then hold high, and be ready to deal with just about everything he has, besides if he decides to full screen sweep, which is reactable. Still annoying, though. Okay. Let's get back to you playing versus Philia now.
Versus Philia.
Yeah, I don't know why, Ezzy, you sent these in the way you did, but you sent in one Ruby replay and then the rest are you.
Showtime. Immediately backing up.
Yeah, got hit with the random Clyde. Kind of sucks.
This is the bad combo.
But it's like his week 1 double. You could have PBGC'd that.
I should have been punished.
Yeah.
That was totally punished.
That jab right there, that was beautiful. I love that. It's very small, but it's very important for Parasol.
Yeah. It's not a great push.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. This is a neutral.
Was that Quake? Oh, man.
Yeah, that was Quake.
Uh-oh. Where did we go? What was that?
What did we press? We were going for death. Got hard called out.
Not the time. Yeah.
Especially when you're close to a corner. That's when you really need to be afraid of double.
DHC, hello? Oh, that's not the time?
Yeah.
I can't believe you didn't punch that.
You can bikes into SBO or snipe into SBO at just about any time and keep yourself pretty safe.
Yeah.
And now your Parasol's dead for it.
Did Para do anything to stop car reaction?
So, car on reaction will hit you if you're deading in the corner, or if they're like goaded and you're doing L shot. If you're doing H shot, you're asking to get card, and every Parasol should know that. L shot, you should be, for the most part, safe. Dets and tosses, depending on how far you extend into them, the double might just call you out for them. It's a lot scarier when you're playing a team like Juices, where you can DHC into a full combo afterwards. But combination of especially super jump air tosses and shots, L shot specifically, and if you're only tossing a single tier, you shouldn't be punishable on reaction by car. They have to predict, and if they're predicting car, they're asking to get heavy counter hit. No conversion. Wait, we weren't blocking, what? Yeah, we just weren't blocking. Hit the assist, yes. You want to get out of this corner. You hate being here. That's good. Oh, especially if you have DNB, you can combo off of this. Quake. You Quake here with DNB, and then you get a full combo afterwards. That's pretty important for you to know. And to get in your muscle memory. And again, so when you're in this range right here, like exactly kind of where I've frozen, jab and 2MP are great buttons, and you're kind of just dash dancing without actually putting any buttons out. So you're keeping the spacing really nicely, and then you're just not using it so the affiliate can run at you regardless. And it's definitely very easy to be afraid of Philia, but you kind of need to disrespect her a little bit. Like, the more you are afraid of your opponent, the more likely you're just gonna get run down. Good bait. You might have been able to punish that with a falling jumping light punch. Oh, no confirm. Get a charge, don't have it fully. Yes, hit the assist, but not when they're right above you like that. Jeez. Why are we sweeping a neutral? I'm not agreeing with this, though. And again, we're kind of just too afraid to do much. Oh no. Yeah, you're just playing really afraid. Double jail. What is your parry assist? I'm assuming it's shot. But you're not calling it at all, even when the double's full screen. Which will help you a lot. You can't do that. We lost the 50-50. You're at full and dizzy, so you're not super scared yet. But now you're stuck. It's Biller. Okay. It's not a bad round start. But you have immediately gotten yourself shoved back to the corner. It's kind of annoying versus Hairball. But, okay, you got yourself out at least. I would not be push blocking this Hairball away. At that range, double can only really M-shot you, and even then, it might be sketchy. You can just hold that Hairball and crouching light punch it. Just give it a little poke, put it on cooldown. Should definitely be DHing a bit more to save our Parasol. Get called out for jumping. Oh no. Daisy is not a reversal, my friend. We really don't know how to deal with... Oh, that should have been a punish. Yeah, you could be hitting the assist a lot more, and you just don't seem to be comfortable doing anything in neutral. You're just terrified that the double's gonna do something. You don't really need to worry about shot all that much, so you can low profile shot, start getting a charge immediately. And it depends how much you want to prioritize getting charges versus shutting down space. It's kind of the trade-off Squiggly needs to be making. But you kind of just sat there and did nothing. Okay. I like the idea, but yeah. Avery covered you throwing a toss there. Hit the assist, yes. That was the right idea. Unfortunate. You could have det before the hairball even got to you. I am not actually seeing very much use of det. Jab, please. Oh, wait. Medium counter. Oh, we draw. Not gonna say anything about that, you know. Also, Baghdad, you've seen how I play the Peacock matchup. I'm not great for giving advice for that. That is one of my worst matchups. And we're just dead. I don't know if you react to push blocks with stancels, but you were asking to get PBG seed there, so I'll keep an eye out for that as well. Oh my god. Yeah, she's just dancing all over you. Not where you like to be a Swiggly. On start jab is a bit iffy. It doesn't quite cover. It works if you know they're gonna dash into you and press a button. Otherwise, it's kind of a coin toss. Just a thing to think about. Okay, so what else happened? That. So you're also, you're letting the double control the pace of this game. The double's the one shooting all the projectiles and doing, like, calling assist, etc. Parasol doesn't need to forfeit like that sort of priority to double. All four of the like middle spacing / soft zoning characters, Double, Fukua, Valentine, Para, all can't like all those matchups together, none of them can shut out each other's zoning, and so both can play lame. And I just don't think you're comfortable knowing when you can shoot or toss or ME grit or HE grit yet. Because you're kind of just sitting there going, well, they're firing the gun. I guess I can't do anything anymore. And so you kind of just sit down and let them do all the fancy things. They're the one getting all the meter. And then eventually you just kind of randomly get approached and hit. So like, here, after you block that, you can toss afterwards, etc. I'm not entirely sure where JP went, but maybe after this we can give a small little demonstration about para double stuff to give you a little bit better of an idea. JP's gonna smoke me because it's still JP, but
Return.
oh, hello. Speak of the devil.
Oh.
And more gun.
Gun.
Oh my god, why are we pressing that button in
The
neutral?
prayer? I don't think I want to prayer.
If you're asking for questions about neutral, not that. Never that, please. Oh my god, Juice.
Juice, please.
Got smacked with the raw tag.
Rock
What does this accomplish for us?
An interesting difference.
Yeah, so we're doing, like, we're still doing a whole lot of movement, but we're not actually pressing buttons with it.
That was a stand game. Oh no, no, by double.
But yeah, so far it's kind of just been not knowing when it's your turn. Like, double doesn't get priority when she shoots gun. You can fight back with your own projectiles, etc., etc. What? And the...
Oh, that should have been straight up a punish. Just dash it, punish. Where was this thing?
Yep. If all they're doing is 2 HP, go to the air.
Right in the corner at least, but we're also just going on.
Yep. So, like, I am very much happy with this Emigrit, but you do nothing after it. You dash forward and then don't even press a button, so you're not using it to cover you doing anything. Use it to block a single shot, and then you just go back to the same neutral you've always been doing. And so here you can either stay back, use it to set up projectiles. You can use it like you did to block a projectile and then dash forward and choke off space, but that needs to be followed up with a button, or else you're not choking off space and you're just like, arms open, hit me.
You don't necessarily have to spend the bar just to get your charge.
Yeah.
If you're at full screen,
If you're full
you
screen,
just have to approach you to get. Just have to approach you to get while you're charging.
We're messing up combos. You're too close to the corner for that to work on double there. It's just fat. That was a really good stun heavy punch. They just had assist behind it.
That was really good.
No!
Oh, we drop it.
These combos are also hurting us.
Oh, that really? Well, I mean, I guess.
Good block.
Just blocking across, but we could have punished.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because you land canceled, it is no longer plus. Wait, no, it's just like -4, right? Normally.
It's -4, but you can still.
Yeah, I was thinking of stand medium punch. Good block.
That's block. We have good blocks. It's just trying to contest.
You're honestly doing a lot of what I used to do of just waiting till you get hit. The whole point is to avoid getting put in disadvantage in the first place. Oh, that's cute.
Good. Yeah, not that gonna work. Too close into the corner.
That was a good jump.
That should have been a JHP, absolutely.
Yeah, hit the assist. Just a little bit more of that. Again, you don't need to be push blocking the hairball again.
Yeah. There's some moves in this game, honestly, that you don't need to push block just because it actually puts you in more disadvantage.
So yeah, what like I hope you've seen it for the past like 3 or 4 times you've done it. You've waited till the last hit, and then push blocked it away like it's someone using a multi-hit normal on you. But all you're doing is preventing yourself from punishing the assist, putting yourself in even more lockdown than the lockdown assist was supposed to. You're straight up just giving the assist twice as much value as it normally should have.
Ooh.
Damn. Was All Bomber throw invuln? I don't remember.
No, but because it kind of flies in the air, it's technically.
Love it. If they don't push block the final hit of your jump heavy kick, 9 out of 10 times you land air throw and they don't tech it. Just a small thing I've noticed oftentimes.
What a jab.
Oh no, we were just...
Oh, we hit the punch we didn't believe.
It's a good jump heavy punch.
Yeah,
like, and you didn't need to stop shooting there. You could have just forced them to keep blocking stuff. That was a really good crouch medium punch.
that was so good. Well, we didn't go in. We didn't follow in with the assist.
Like, you can't do this. Oh, I mean, you could have THC'd, but in general, that's just not something you're wanting to look for. Yeah. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's throw and vuln because all of the DP motions besides fortunes were throw vulnerable or throw and vuln. Just why that change felt weird to me.
Get out of there.
That was a good tag.
I guess I'm still late.
It was a little bit late, so it didn't punish, but you still caught him.
Okay.
Oh my god. Gregory sucks. And so, like, honestly, I really like you falling with a button. You just got caught. But, like, you need to be pressing buttons a lot more. And also falling there, I might recommend jumping light kick rather than jump medium kick.
Ooh,
oh. Oh wait, we didn't cancel fast. Oh, we did cancel fast enough. If you went to launcher and didn't immediately, you didn't need to snap. Oh, mistimed. You're doing that way too high in the air. Good punish though. I don't know why Juice did that.
That was quite the Gregor.
Yeah. So, just something to keep in mind when you're doing that route specifically, especially on lights. The 4 heavy kick and a stand medium kick is always going to pop them up really high. So any of the like air strings you're doing will need to have even more delays on them than you normally put on them. And honestly, if you do the basic jump light punch, jump light kick, jump medium punch, re-jump, jump medium kick, jump heavy punch, that's just not going to re-stand them, period. And if you're going for the mix, they're popped up so high, it's so easy for them to react to what you're doing, and they can always mash on reaction or double jump out of if you're trying to high-low them on the ground. I wouldn't recommend going into that setup off of that route. It's just too high for Parasol to do anything nice with. And it's also awful damage.
Showtime.
There, like
That
that.
would have been amazing. Well, that worked too. That's fine.
The second you started pressing buttons and throwing tears, it worked out perfectly. Oh, you went for that mix.
That's okay. We have pressure. Keep going. Nice. We still have pressure. Keep going.
You could have kept shooting.
That's not
etc.
good time to back up. Oh.
That's a good job.
Pretty good job.
Yeah. Again,
What
if they're doing this on reaction, they're just asking, or on prediction, they're just asking for a free heavy counter hit, which you should be doing a lot more. Again, see how high and awkward that is for Parasol to do anything with?
That's just a sniper.
Yeah. But you don't get a conversion afterwards, because Air Sniper will them out.
What? Juice, please. No conversion? We didn't follow up?
Oh my. This is some spaghetti.
Wait. Juice is still playing R bottom? No, that's M bottom.
I think that's L. Am I crazy? It didn't get our bike guy input. Good push block. You could have PBGC jabbed there, actually.
Oh, chipping me death.
Good patience.
Hey.
You can chip the Philly out here on incoming.
We just...
No.
Yeah.
It's really hard and awkward to time, but especially because Philia doesn't have a double jump, if you set up tiers for incoming, det, and then call bikes afterwards, they can't get out of that. You just chip them out and guarantee the win.
ALP sensor.
I will recommend practicing it though, because I have definitely thrown tournament sets mistiming that.
Now stop. Up there. Oh, nice. 2 MP, but it's not at the right range. It's good pushback though. What did you have?
It works.
What did that?
Yeah,
I'll
you
leave
gotta
you know what
recognize
a
your
range
ranges. I've noticed that's something you're struggling with a little bit. Max range confirms for Parasol are always going to be a little bit wonky and different. I would not recommend emigrating when someone's that close to you.
Horrible combo.
We just ignore Juice. Juice is already apparently the best Golgor player, so they don't need VoD review. Smile. We love you, Juice. Oh my god, it works.
Oh my god. The best Golgor player, I see, yes.
Dash up throw.
That's not how you do the setup, that's not meaty at all.
Yeah,
we're stuck in defense right now. Yeah, we're just locking ourselves out. Nice rat tag.
It's hard to like point out as it's happening, but your push blocks are not helping you in certain scenarios. So we already talked about how you're doing with the assist, but you're waiting till the 3rd or 4th hit of some block string to try and push block this double off of you. That was a good push block though. Daisy is not a reversal. Yep.
That was interesting. A baboosh. Middle of trade.
Oh. Okay, 3 more, yeah. Oh, that does not work.
Oh, that does not work. No. Oh.
Yeah, the gun.
That was very strong.
What in the...
That was interesting. A single hit of just hairball, you know? Okay.
Beautiful. Good confirm.
Oosh.
I'll take it.
Nice one.
Bike guy? Take the corner.
We just stopped.
I think the jab got eaten. I think they wanted jab 6 MP.
Wait for jab, jab, into...
Why are we pillaring
would
when
not
the
have done
double's this far away? You need to go into
SBO.
Daisy.
Hello?
That's a Daisy moment, friend.
That's the wrong button.
Psych, that's the wrong super.
We're putting yourself.
Yeah, and again, you're acting very afraid. I'm actually gonna go back a little bit. Where was it? It was before that. Here, like, yes, this is like very, very brave, but you can just throw here, etc. You're just so afraid of pressing anything in a lot of scenarios.
And then, like, as soon as we tried to get out and we got stopped by gun, we just went hurdled again.
Yep. What in the...
What? Just please.
Wait,
That was real.
what were you pressing?
Counter hit. Hello?
What were you pressing?
It wasn't your turn. You have to hold the 50-50 of the burst.
You could have jabbed after that push block.
Oh.
You might have gotten stuffed by a gun, but
Worth trying. Yeah.
again,
Yeah, the hit. We didn't. We just didn't.
uh, those two medium kicks are kind of, or medium punches are kind of annoying to convert off of.
Now we back up. Up in your corner.
Yeah, we're just so tentative to zone. We're not tentative, we're just like...
Oh god. It's not as spooky as like Parasol's tier. And yeah, this is
Yeah, we can't do that. You have to force her to block something.
like Double's gunshot isn't all that great. Like you get super forward momentum. Rip. You okay? Oh, you put yourself out. Yeah. Get yourself out. Rip. That was very low.
Oh, what?
Oh my god. What?
How does Juice keep getting those bad confirms?
That's a good question.
That's the second time we've seen that. Doing mix.
Mixy.
That's not the right toss if you're going for that route. You need to do M toss.
Well. Good job. Good toss.
And so, like, we're still not probably as comfortable. We're still more comfortable to do shots. You can be doing as many shots as you have been versus Philia versus the double.
Oh, that was match right.
Yeah, if you don't know, even though you can unchain or go down the chain to jump medium punch, anytime you go down chain in this game, it starts a new string, which can trigger IPS or undizzy. It's very important to know for Parasol because her going from jump medium kick to anything is pretty important to her kit. Just a very small thing to be keeping in mind. One more, yeah.
Showtime. Good job, good.
Jab, jab. Why are we push blocking?
You don't need to push block it. Put yourself in knock.
I like that jab though. And you called assisted pressure, you didn't shot behind it, and you lost your turn, because if you do anything that isn't shot, you're minus. Fun.
Oh, you just cross yourself up. So
Yeah.
there are instances, but really, you really shouldn't emigrate. You have a super jump.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Emigrate in certain circumstances versus double, but if you know hairball's coming, it's not gonna stop the hairball most of the time. Oh, we didn't block.
Oh, we dash forward when we block. Oh, good.
Again, talking about double and car. If you're only doing L shot in like a single toss, they have to be carring predictively, and if they're doing that, they're asking to get punished. Whiff throw. Good blocks.
Double trace. Oh, you
Yeah.
should have. Well, okay, yeah. I guess they did it right there, barely.
You should be dead.
Oh no, we dropped the bomb off. Now we're just being green.
Cheers. And now you're dealing with Squiggly's
rude.
mortal enemy getting
This
push
is
blocked.
rude behavior. Oh,
Yeah, Juice is... There's an ego with that one. He do be clowning around a little bit. And I don't think I'm gonna give you like... Or, not give you. I don't think I necessarily need to provide like a show match of my Parasol versus doubles JP. If you can find any tournament set of a Parasol versus a double, you'll also get a pretty good idea, although unfortunately Tuna with Bacon's down. You don't need to be as afraid of the gun as you are. Period. If anything, Parasol can use more projectiles than double can. And that's an important thing to be keeping track of, because that is how your team is getting meter. If you're a duo with Squiggly, you want that meter. So anytime you're not using your specials, you're robbing yourself of future Squiggly resources. And again, you're kind of just afraid in ranges you don't need to be afraid in. Your spacing is honestly not bad. On Parasol and on Squiggly, you're just not pressing the buttons you need to be at those ranges. So like you're doing Squiggly stuff in the air, but I feel like I can count on one, maybe two hands the amount of times you press jumping light kick in that entire set. Screw it, whatever.
I mean, you don't have to outzone her.
And it's
It's not a zoning match.
yeah, and it's not. Okay, why is my controller doing this? Press. I thought you said you fixed the. I'm so confused. I really hope they have a booth at a Combo Breaker, because this is starting to piss me off.
Oh my god. Air toss? I mean, you don't need a toss. Well, double's not a zoner.
And I think I mentioned this while you were away. Double and Parasol, and I also put Kua and Valentine in this, all can get away with throwing their projectiles to their heart's content versus each other. They can all choose to just be lame, trade full screen stuff, and not really have to deal with each other that much. And you're kind of just paralyzed by, but what if she shoots me? That's not really something Parasol needs to care about. Because your tiers trade with her and then they leave something on the screen. You can tier faster than she can shoot for the most part.
True.
Parasol avoiding Double's projectiles is much easier than Double avoiding Parasol's projectiles. And then the second she tries to avoid, that's when you're allowed to all of a sudden start setting up even more projectiles where you can throw in your tosses or your bomber, or not bomber, bike guy. If you have bomber, use it. But yeah, it's... And I think you just need to be comfortable with throwing out more buttons. And on Squiggly, I would argue try out different buttons. Again, I don't remember seeing all that many jumping light kicks. I don't know if I saw a single 2 medium kick, and that button is egregious. Like, it's such a long-reaching
Maybe
low that
it's
she can convert off
so
of. It's weird because you're playing like you know the spacing of your character, and then you're just not pressing the buttons.
buttons to match. You're very defensive. Your defense is really good. And we only notice that because you're not pressing buttons.
Yep.
You're more often hitting the back button than you are hitting the forward button.
And to that point, someone mentioned you kept constantly teching into the corner. That's another thing. And if you're going to be that defensive, you really do need to be thinking about your techs, which are valuable to get yourself out of positions. And then we talked a bit about the push blocks as well. Mainly on the assist, but you could also work to push block earlier in strings and just get them off of you.
Whiff punishable? My guy, no one in the right mind is gonna whiff punish 2MK. In an actual match, that's really hard.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially with assists and other shenanigans around it.